Hey guys, it's Henrik here, and today I'll be talking about how to manage an app project. I'll take you through some of the tools that we personally use, some of the different reports, as well as some tips and tricks. Now, managing an app project is about keeping a clear overview of the different parts, the schedules, the deadlines, and to keep everyone moving and to make sure they are moving in the right direction. The first thing you want to do is to keep in touch with your developers, graphical artists, composers, marketers, and other freelancers every single day. A little nudge on Skype asking how they are doing and what the plan is for the day is enough as long as the project is moving forward. Then, as soon as something comes up, whether it is a bug, a new idea, a change in schedule, or whatever else, contact them and discuss it with them. Communication is key to the success of a project like this. And keep in mind that humans are inherently lazy and have a short attention span. So by contacting them every day, you let their brains know that there will be no rest until they finish your project. And this will help to keep things moving forward. Secondly, make use of Elance, Odesk, Freelancer, their mailing system. So here you can send certain documents and updates through the network. This is to create a paper trail for your development, and it's a very official channel to use because this is also where you should be paying your freelancer. Now, having a calendar is also of key importance. Just as they are inherently lazy, so are you and your brain. That is why we make it easy for ourselves and ensure that nothing slips through the cracks. So your number one job as the manager of your app project is to be strong, diligent, and on task. Because when you are, so will they be. So set deadlines for when parts of your app is scheduled to be finished and then enforce them. So plot these deadlines into your calendar app and have it send you a little nudge on the day before or that same day, be it via email, a pop-up on your computer, but whatever you do, make it easy for yourself in the future and send yourself reminders. Now, in addition to the short communications of every day, you should also get 2 special reports. This is on Friday and Monday. On Friday, get an oral or written report on what has been accomplished that week, what was not accomplished, and how they are coming along in meeting the deadlines. On Monday morning, talk to them and get an update on the plan for that week and how they will work to meet the deadlines. Now, doing these things will force both you and them to stay on task, and you will save a lot of time that would otherwise have been wasted because people were slacking off, or if they forget to think about things, and your app will not be delivered in time. But by going through this and actually having these discussions, you are both forced to think it through and make sure that you're doing the correct steps to get where you want to go. Then we have the absolutely wonderful Dropbox. That's a tool we all use here at the 30-Day App Challenge. Now, using Dropbox, you can easily upload documents, pictures, videos, and you can share them with the people you want. Now, in this way, you can keep the latest updated version of the different documents available to your freelancers while staying in control of what is written there. Now, 3 tips for using Dropbox successfully is: keep only current assets and documents in the Dropbox which you have shared with your freelancers. So once you have an updated document version, upload it and then move the old one from the working folder and into one where you keep old documents. You can see, for example, here I have a folder called Old Graphics. Because the freelancer does not need to have access to the old documents folder. In this way, you ensure that only the assets, that's pictures, design documents, sound files, etc., it's the only asset that they can work with are the ones that are current. So you're not going to get a new version of your app that suddenly has old graphics in it. And also take the time to label all folders properly and ensure that there is indeed a system for it. This saves you a lot of time in the long run. And also, keep different folders for the different freelancers, because not all freelancers need access to your full project. Your composer need no access to your design documents and graphical art, unless if there is a specific reason, so have a separate folder to use with them, and so on. Now, you should also create and keep an up-to-date project plan for your app. Now in here you should write all the details for your app, all the milestones needed to complete your app, as well as the deadlines for completion of said milestones. For more details on the different documents, check out our forums. And also, speaking of milestones, make sure that you celebrate every completed step and that you enjoy the journey instead of putting the enjoyment off until the completion of the project. Then we have the feature list, which lists in bullet points every single feature that is to be incorporated into your app. This is to make it easy for developers and you to make sure that everything is actually included and to see in which order things are to be made so that progress is optimized. So keep this up to date and it will save you a lot of brain power that you would otherwise be spending remembering and pondering on things. And then we have the bugs. Now, similar to the feature list, this is a bulletin point of the different bugs that you discover, so both you and the developers can check them off one by one, as well as you can add new ones swiftly and easily. It is also simple for you to know then what you should be looking for and checking once you get the new versions. Now, one thing for bugs, in addition to sharing this file via Dropbox, also send all discovered bugs to the developer via email. This is also so that you have a paper trail showing that you did indeed point them out. Now, what you see here on the screen is just some example bugs, and yeah, but this is the kind of bulletin point list that you should have created. And when it comes to all of these documents, very important tips. Use versions. Every time you do a change to a document, update the version number and save it as a new file. Then put it into the relevant Dropbox folder and remove the old one. Now, this is not a picture of my Dropbox folder, but this is my private computer where I keep also the old stats. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is especially important when working on games and more advanced projects, but it is also very useful for utility apps and smaller games. And that is to have the developers upload the latest build every single day before they go home. And then you take it and you play with it for 15 to 30 minutes every day. Because this is the definite way of finding bugs, to develop your app idea, to make sure that it is streamlined and easy, as well as actually just making sure the developers are moving in the right direction. Because if they have misunderstood one of your instructions, you want to spot this as early as possible, make them correct it, so the project stays on track. So do not delegate this part of the work. Now, this might lead you to actually hate your game at the time of release, but you will also have made sure that it is the best it can possibly be at that time. Now, one more thing to keep in mind is to have assets flowing swiftly. Now, if you are working with a team of different companies, for example by outsourcing code and graphics to 2 different companies, you need to stay on top of both of them, so they deliver what the other need at the point when they need it. Now, if this fails, you start to get bottlenecks, and the development starts slowing down. So, make sure your people have what they need to get the job done. Now, one way to alleviate some possible bottlenecks is to put them in direct contact to different freelancers you hire. But I prefer to be the go-between guy. But this might have something to do with my need to be kept in the loop and have a hand on the tiller, as they say. But it is up to you. And finally, your most important job as manager and owner of the project is to keep the vision of your app firmly in mind and keep development moving in the right direction. So stay focused and make sure that there is no feature creep, making the app project larger and larger as more and more features added to make the app into something all round. So keep asking yourself the right questions and make sure that you're on the right track. So stay focused and think of the age-old motto: any fool can make something complicated. It takes a genius to make it simple. Now, the homework for this lesson is to make sure your Dropbox is set up and to make sure your project plan, schedule, and feature list is up to date. And if you're watching this video online or listening to this podcast from iTunes, make sure to visit our site. We have lots of extra bonus material there and a forum you can participate in and ask your questions. You can also register for the full course on our site and get access to all the resources we offer the course participants. And remember, it is completely free, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So sign up today at www.30dayappchallenge.com. That is www.30dayappchallenge.com. Thanks for watching.